Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshines. Hopefully your day is off to a great start. Of course, right off the bat, I wanted to wish my American co-reporters a happy 4th of July. Woo! Confetti! How are you guys doing today? I'm not expecting too many of you to be here because I imagine that quite a bit of you are taking advantage of the holiday to sleep in, or I don't know, you're preparing for a barbecue or something. So just shout out to you guys, and an extra shout out if you join us a little bit later as part of our playback posse. We've got Ramster in the building. Ooh, Ramster, la francophone, je vais bien, merci, et toi? So nice. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Gala. Happy 4th. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Tyrell, Tadisha, Ali, Christiane, Acacia, Jashi, Chastity. We've also got Carly. Oh my goodness, 2010 Miss Independent. That's why I love her. Nice to see you. Good morning, Vidisha. Good morning, Valerie. Sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. Love you too, Boo. So nice to see you. Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Ashley. And good morning, those of you watching us a little bit later on because you are just, torn in all different directions today on the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to you guys. What are you guys doing to celebrate? Let me know. I'm so excited to hear all about it. Acacia says she's getting ready to plot on Orlando Bloom. Hot girl summer indeed. And I know you're island hopping. I wouldn't be surprised if he were as well. Please let the stars align for you. That would be absolutely iconic if you were, able to meet Orlando Bloom and maybe get with Orlando Bloom for research. Good morning, Naya. It's because I have work off. I'm in this live. Woo, so happy. Soul food, potato salad. That sounds so good. Enjoy. Bon appétit en avance. Bon appetit in advance. Enjoy, and love you too, boo. Ashley says, by the way, as an American, I feel like there's nothing to celebrate today. And I understand that perspective as well. I feel like sometimes these holidays can be a little bit complicated. You're acknowledging, right, your independence and the great thing that came with that. But at the same time, you're also all too cognizant of some of the uglier sides, the more negative sides of, what your country is currently doing or has done. So, my heart goes out to you guys who are, kind of battling complicated feelings about your Independence Day as well. Valerie, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wearing all black and eating Spanish food. Ah, qué bien. Me gusta, chica. Me gusta. ¿Qué vas a comer? What are you going to eat? Chastity says, gonna let off some fireworks. I love it. Hang out with my 4 kiddos. Love it. I love a good firework. Ours are coming up. So it's kind of funny because we've got the Canadian Independence Day, Canada Day, which is the 1st of July. And then here we've also got you guys, the 4th of July, and then the French Independence Day or Bastille Day is the 14th. So July is a really, really big month for these sorts of independence celebrations, right? Christiane is not celebrating until we get change, going to a protest later. Love that too. Good for you, Christiane. Yes, I feel you. Valerie says you still have to celebrate 4th of July. Please don't be like that. There's a lot of things going on, but let's not criminalize the soldiers that fought for us and still fight. Like I said, there's so many complicated feelings around these holidays. And I think every single person's feeling about it is 1,000% valid. I was having a similar conversation with my friend about Canada Day. My friend is a reservist for the Army. And so he was kind of, he had a similar complaint to you, Valerie, about some people protesting or not really wanting to celebrate. And, it was kind of like a big discussion between us, not like a heated, but like a big discussion, I see why some people, would rather protest than celebrate, especially like our native Canadians and what. Anyway, that is a story for another day. But happy Independence Day to you, my American co-reporters, nonetheless. I wanted to get a sad story out of the way at the top of today's morning report, okay? Because first of all, this was really, 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 really just shocking. It came out of nowhere, to be, quite frank with you. It's the first story I saw this morning when I went on the internet. It's Caitlyn Jenner's friend and manager, 29-year-old Sophia Hutchins. She passed away. You guys, she was involved in a tragic ATV accident, I should say, that happened near Caitlyn's home. And this happened just Wednesday morning, and she was pronounced dead on the scene. According to TMZ sources, Sophia was riding an ATV on the road where Caitlyn lives. It's rumored that they actually lived together, that she, spent a lot of time at Caitlyn's house at the very least, when she struck the bumper of a moving car. And then the impact of her striking this bumper forced her ATV over the shoulder of what was a cliff, and it led to her plummeting 350 feet down into a ravine. There was no hope for her surviving that. She was pronounced literally quite literally dead on the scene. And it is just absolutely shocking and devastating to even think about going out that way. I'm floored. I really, really am. That must have been a horrific death. So I'm praying for her and for her family. Very, very sad stuff. Like Ashley says, eerie stuff. I know, you guys, this is absolutely terrible. It truly, truly is. Poor Sophia indeed. I hope you have a great time celebrating chastity. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You and your kids. You guys are going to have the greatest time, and I hope you guys get to enjoy some good fireworks as well. I do have another story. It's sad for Katy in Orlando, but happy for Allie and the other girls who are in competition now for some Orlando Bloom, okay? It's been rumored for the past 2 weeks or so that the two of them called off their engagement and broke up, and now it has officially been confirmed by their own representative. Their representatives gave a statement to Us Weekly magazine, straight up confirming that the two of them have broken up. The statement reads, and I quote, "Due to the abundance of interest in conversations surrounding Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry's relationship, representatives have confirmed that Orlando and Katy have been shifting their relationship over the past many months to focus on co-parenting. They will continue to be seen together as a family, as their shared priority is and always will be raising their daughter with love, stability, and mutual respect." A lot of people are hinting, and this is what I hate about like celebrity breakups and like celebrity dogpiling. It seems to typically happen to women, right? We've talked about this, where like women always have like their day as like, being the punching bag. And we saw this with J-Lo. We've seen this with Meghan Markle. We've seen this with just many women out in the public eye, Gwyneth Paltrow, etc., right? And they were actually even kind of low-key trying it with Beyonce during this Cowboy Carter tour. And then here we come with Katy Perry. It just feels like she can't do anything right lately. And, of course, she has done some kind of off things or, downright problematic things in the past. But again, who hasn't in life, right? Especially a lot of these men, in Hollywood who have done 1,000 times worse, and they're still able to show their face without being, berated all the time and just turned into these memes to be mocked and humiliated and whatnot, right? Like, for example, look at Jeff Bezos and his wife. Why is it that Jeff Bezos's new wife, Lauren Sanchez, gets more hate than Jeff Bezos himself? Like, who's really destroying the planet between those two, right? Anyway, and who has like the terrible working conditions for their employees and whatnot? It's Jeff Bezos. Yet we're always, the public is always coming for the wife. Bref, laisse tomber. Anyway, let's get into the Katy Perry thing. So like I said, they confirmed their breakup, and similar to the Ben Affleck, J-Lo of it all, and these other breakups, it's being blamed on Katy Perry. People are saying that Orlando Bloom was so embarrassed when Katy Perry did that space flight, right? That little 5-minute space flight and whatnot. And so he decided that it was so selfish of her to do that. So he had to leave her. Meanwhile, this man was just over there celebrating Jeff Bezos's wasteful wedding in Venice, right? Like, I think that they kind of just grew apart as people, as is normal, right? This happens very often. I don't understand why we have to choose one person or another. Sometimes things just don't work out and there's no bad guy in it. I haven't really seen anything to indicate that either one of them was a bad guy. So, for example, Orlando Bloom has been posting a lot of like Carl Jung quotes on his Instagram talking about just, consciousness, loneliness, these sorts of things, right? And then Katy's been posting her own things like, she relates to this like Australian animal or that one. Like, neither one of them is blaming the other. So I don't know why people are just coming up with the idea that it was Katy's fault for going on a 5-minute flight to space. Please. Ali says, I promise, Orlando, I'll never claim to be an astronaut, even though I'll make you feel out of this world. Orlando, did you hear that? We've got your next girlfriend here. Her name is Ali. Quick, come snatch her up right now, right here, right now. Oh my God, you are absolutely killing me, right? And I do agree with that, Ramster. It seems like anytime these ladies are going through like a public lashing where they're being dogpiled on by the public, the men leave them. This was J-Lo's era when she was going through that. Then Ben Affleck leaves her after like 24 months, not even, of marriage. And now you're seeing that with Orlando and Katy Perry. They were together for 7 years or something like that. Now she has this terrible public year or whatever. And now boom, her man leaves her too. It's really sad. Raven says, where I live, they had fireworks. They already did it. Wow, it was amazing. All the Patriots that came out and many 4th of July parties. Love, love, love that for you. Carly says, Kylie single now? Or no, Kylie and Timothy Chalamet are still going strong. We're still going to have to keep an eye on that for you, Carly. Why? You got next dibs on Timothy? Ramster says, oh, Grace, did you see DiCaprio trying very hard, acting like yes, he was trying to like go incognito with his hat all the way down his face or whatever, but he has a very recognizable face, whether it's the top half, middle half, the bottom half. We saw the bottom half. We saw the girl that's far too young for you. We knew that was you, Leonardo DiCaprio. And you know what? That's another thing, right? Like Leonardo DiCaprio is such a grifter. His whole climate change, environmentalist, blah, blah stuff is fake. It's BS. And if that were a woman who pretended to be all for the environment, but like was running around on these yachts, doing all this like needless, senseless private jet travel and going to celebrate billionaires and some of the biggest polluters on the planet, she would be dragged every single minute of every single day. So why is it that we're not dogpiling on Leonardo DiCaprio? Why can't we start now? That guy, he is long past being dragged for that and his creepy obsession with women whose brains are not even fully developed yet at his big age. Please, 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 please. Listen, that's how you know he's really going through it, Ali. But again, maybe he just needs you to cheer him up, right? That's what I'm thinking. And actually, no, they weren't married. They were only engaged. And they had been engaged for quite a while. But that's the thing. Listen, I know sometimes, especially if the couple is young or the couple is struggling financially or whatever, long engagements lead to marriages nonetheless, right? But I think in the celebrity world, where you can get married any day of the week, you don't have financial pressures, you're both grown as hell. If you still haven't like walked down the aisle after like 3-4 years, it kind of starts to look like you're never going to walk down the aisle, right? So I've got to be honest with you, I'm not surprised that they did not make it down the aisle, right? So now at this point, and I completely forgot that Orlando even has another child. He actually has a son named Flynn that he shares with Miranda. I forget her last name, sorry, but she's this supermodel who is married to the billionaire founder of Snapchat. So now Orlando has a son named Flynn, and he's got his daughter Daisy. And those are cute names, Flynn and Daisy, by the way, right? So I don't know. It seems like he's really striking out. And same thing for Katy Perry. She was previously married to Russell Brand, who's currently facing charges for, sexual misconduct and whatnot, an alleged SA. And now here she is with a broken engagement. I really feel for the two of them. Listen, I think these two are lovers, right? People who try so hard to find the right person in love and whatnot. And unfortunately, it just hasn't been working out for them. But, hopefully they're able to have a healthy co-parenting relationship moving forward. Ramster says maybe Leonardo can start dating Greta Thunberg. That would make me a hoot. And she isn't even 25 yet. Can you picture that? That would be, honestly, I think everybody would burn his house down, because we still see Greta Thunberg as like a child, like that like little 12-year-old girl or whatever fighting for climate change, imagine he goes for her. That would make my skin crawl. To be honest, she's really there for climate change. She's a real, activist, not a fake one like Leo. She's still good for him, even if she's already way too young for him. Malen says Orlando Bloom has being Remor. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? Hey, Jaleesa. No, you haven't missed too much. Happy 4th, by the way, girl. We just talked about Caitlyn Jenner's manager, Sophia Hutchins, dying in a tragic ATV accident. And now here we are on our second story, which is Harry and Orlando Bloom confirming their breakup and the end of their engagement. And thank you, Deb. It was Miranda Kerr who Orlando Bloom shared son Flynn with. They weren't ever even engaged, were they, right? Like they were just dating and then they had the baby, right? Carly says, I can't with the short bangs. Oh, is that on Katy? You know what I have to tell you guys? Speaking of Katy and her appearance, I've always thought she is so freaking beautiful. Like whenever they do these lists of most beautiful, like in Hollywood or whatever, there are some people where I'm like, oh my God, these girls are so beautiful, but they don't really get mentioned like that. And she's one of them, right? I feel like she doesn't get enough hype. Kerry Washington doesn't get enough hype for her beauty. And there's one of them, Jessica Chastain as well. She's so beyond stunning to me too. And I feel like she doesn't get enough love. Just saying. Hey, Kahara, good morning. Happy 4th. Happy 4th. And thank you to Disha. It looks like Miranda Kerr is doing listen, one thing about Miranda Kerr is she, you know what, maybe she didn't want to marry Orlando. Maybe like the pregnancy was an accident because she's always been a sprinkle hypergamous girly, right? She was dating that billionaire that dated Mariah Carey afterwards, James Packer, I believe his name is. Those are like my early days of creating YouTube content. Like one of my first like 5 to 10 videos was about Mariah Carey and James Packer. That's why I remember his name. And then she went from him to another billionaire, which was the Evan something from Snapchat and whatnot. So getting with Orlando Bloom somewhere in the mix and getting pregnant by him seems like, oops, my bad. Like this was supposed to be a little hookup. This isn't serious sort of a thing. And do you guys, speaking of this, Malen, do you guys remember? And I think that his fight with Justin Bieber was over like those photos that came out of Orlando Bloom and Selena Gomez looking like wasted or like strung out or something, like on the sidewalk with like beers in their hands for like one reason or another. It was like the most random photos that came out, right? Yes. So she got rescued from, I think they were I don't know if they were in Israel or they were trying to cross over to Palestine, but she was safely repatriated from that. Thank God. Ali says, I don't know about Russell Brand, but he seems like the first Post Malone, unclean and unshowered. Dude, that guy, the stories I've heard about him, scary stuff, right? And the way that he's kind of low-key trying to create his own cult and stuff to like, evade justice and whatnot. It's all so disturbing. And yes, Christiane, I actually made a video about this for you guys, my channel members, about some of the stuff that Kale was saying in her interview with Lala. So basically, Kale was talking about how she gets pregnant, before she even really starts dating people. Yet at the same time, she was trying to lecture us about the dangers of STDs. She was claiming that she has high standards and whatnot. Girl, please. And then she says that they are working on developing a reality show from Isaac's POV. So that's one of the channel member videos that I did earlier on in the week for you guys, okay? Speaking of Teen Mom, we do actually have to talk about Leah Messer as well. She actually announced on her Instagram page that she was caught in some sort of a freak accident, you guys, involving, what was it again? A hedge trimmer. So here she is. Do you see her finger? She looks so beautiful. You don't even notice, but look at it. When you look down, it is absolutely massive, right? So her caption reads, and I quote, PSA, make sure you wash your fingers around a hedge trimmer. Jesus God, Leah. And obviously that is a call to Corey when he was really frustrated with her in the early days of Teen Mom. He was like, Jesus God, Leah. And that really caught on with the fandom. So it's kind of like cute, like how she calls out to that, kind of like, it's a little nod to the fandom and whatnot. Anyway, a trip to the urgent care and returning home with 6 stitches sure will ruin a good day and your fresh manicure. So very, very sad to see that she was caught in such an incident. Thank God, though, that she still has her finger, because it could have been worse. She could have lost her finger, right? Really, really scary stuff. The first thing I said was, what even is a hedge trimmer? You know what? I didn't even think to look it up. What is a hedge trimmer? Listen, that's how you know you've been living in condos too long. You're like, I know what hedges are, but what's a hedge trimmer looking like? And why is she doing her own hedges? Doesn't Wow. Oh my God. This looks like a saw, you guys. Oh my, she could have really truly lost her finger. I can't believe she's doing all this on her own. First of all, kudos to you, Leah, for doing all this stuff on your own. She is running a massive household, and she's got her three girls on her own and everything like that. And she really is doing it all. And I feel really bad for her that it went down this way. Now, let me see what some of you guys have to say about this situation. By the way, Valerie said, I thought Isaac didn't want to be a public figure. Well, that's what I thought too. But apparently he just doesn't want to be associated with the Teen Mom franchise. And that's why he was changing his name from Isaac to Elliot. But at the same time, he did an AMA where he said that he's not going to change his name from Isaac to Elliot on social media. So listen, not too much on the child now, right? So I'm not going to say too much, but the messaging is all over the place. And I don't get it. Caroline says, so she posed for us to see the finger. Right. I think she should have done another close up where you could like really see, but I digress. I feel badly for her. Poor thing. Ali says, I don't even know how to use a mower. Right. I know my abilities. Actually, I learned last summer when I was at my sister's place. She has one of those ones. It's like a wireless one. So that was kind of cool. I used to always be so scared of like lawn and garden equipment because the War Amps commercial used to come on all the time. And there was this one child who like lost their foot to a lawnmower. So I was always just so petrified of lawnmowers. I was like, I'm never touching a lawnmower. Never, never, never. But yeah, just saying. Chastity says, I used to cut my neighbor's hedges all the time as a teen. Oh my God. Really? You are a freaking tough cookie. What? Were you making money doing this? Was this a business for you? I used to like shovel the snow sometimes with my little brother to make some money back in the day. Cami says, I'm glad Leah didn't lose her fingers. Same here. Like it really, really could have gone, from bad to worse for her. Ronnie says, power tools are scary if you don't know how to use them. Exactly. That's why I am so terrified to even touch them 9 times out of 10. Valerie says, I keep having people mentioning me, but I don't know how to mention them back. I think you just do the @ sign and then their name, and it should tag them, okay? Once again, so sorry about what happened to you, Leah, and your finger. Thank God, though, that you still have your finger. That is absolutely terrifying. Truly, truly, truly. Just, that's not the type of news that I was expecting to see, on my Instagram timeline this morning. But all's well that ends well. Now, here's another story. Listen, today's episode is all about like things that are just so surprising that I saw on my timeline this morning. Why don't we get into Rihanna? So Rihanna just left Paris yesterday and they're going on a road trip somewhere, which I don't know, maybe she's going to be going, this could be anywhere, right? Maybe she's going to another city in France. Maybe she's crossing the border to go somewhere else. I don't know, but they're on the road. And she posted a picture of her 2 sons in the backseat of the car. How cute are they? And there's something that jumped out to me was that her son, Riot, was reading Un Cahier de Vacances, which is like a French workbook. And so in this workbook, there are math problems, grammatical problems, all sorts of things like that, like reading, writing, whatnot, maybe some science as well, all in French. And I'm like, oh, is this like just something that like a fan gave to her, like just for fun, because they're, in France and it would be kind of cute. Like, look, it's just like a cute little $3 book or something. Or is she serious about teaching her children French? Either way, that was just so cute to see. And the Francophone Navy was having a ball. As you can see from the comment section, they were like, oh my God, you guys see, she's teaching them French. This is so exciting. Oh my God. Like that type of thing. Like people were so thrilled about it. And for me, seeing their excitement was really cool to me as well. So shout out to Rihanna. You know what? I think it's smart for this like new generation of celebrities to be raising their children to be multilingual. It always kind of surprised me that like, people who are like Nepo babies, even like royalty, right? Like the British, they rule over, they still colonize a couple of different countries that speak a couple of different languages, yet they don't really speak anything other than English. It's always been really fascinating to me. Why don't they have at least one other language, under their belt or whatever? You get to connect with so many more people that way. And it looks like this new generation is all about that. Cardi B's children are learning French and Spanish. Then you've got Shamia from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, whose daughter is learning Swahili. I think she's also learning Luo. no, not Luo, just Swahili, I think, and Spanish and stuff like that. So I really, really love that. Y'all know I love, love, love languages. So anytime I hear about people learning, like, it brings a smile to my face. Absolutely, right? So that's Riza. So Riza is the firstborn. It's not Riot. So it's Riza, then it's Riot Rose. My bad. Thanks, Deb. Deb's my fact checker today, and I love it. Right? Same here, Ashley. It's so cool. It really just opens your like world up, like just in ways that you can't even describe, right? And so it's such a beautiful thing to see. Milan says, Grace, have you ever thought about doing a Patreon one day, like doing a watch party and other fun things? Listen, Milan, that could be interesting. I wonder what I would do it of. You know what, the thing that like really kind of like is difficult for me sometimes in content creation is the time difference. Trying to find times that like work for myself and, the majority of my audience as well, just because the time gap between us is so large, right? Like the time gap between me and my largest audience, which is the West Coast, is like 9 hours, right? And then East Coast, y'all are my second biggest audience, and that's 6 hours. So it's a little complicated, but it would be cool to be able to do more things, right? For now, I really love my YouTube channel membership. And over there, I get to share a lot of videos and YouTube shorts and like, posts and photos. So for now, that's what I really like. Katy says, hi, Grace. I'm watching you on the big screen. Love it. And my baby boy keeps smiling so big at your beautiful face. I think he recognizes my favorite YouTubers and their voices. That is so stinking cute. Thank you, Katy. That is so cute. Shout out to your sweet son as well. That's so sweet. Ali says, I learned 3 different languages by 5. Ooh, see, I love it. What languages did you learn, Ali? Congratulations. That's amazing. Len says, Rihanna always posts her children without photoshopping their pictures. She's very down to earth. Isn't that so weird? The amount of celebrities who will straight up Photoshop children. It's like, they're kids. They're kids. Like, why are you already like planting the seeds of body dysmorphia on them, right? It's very weird. And I completely agree as well, Ashley. Like really, truly, it's incredible. It opens up your mind, your world, your everything, right? Like it's just so incredible. Jaleesa says, my parents always had me do their yard work, mowing, pulling weeds, clean the pool in the dead of the summer. Jaleesa, oh my God. Were they paying you at least? Like, damn, they had you doing everything. Jesus. Kambule says, I'm learning French. Oh my God. Courage avec ça. Good luck with that. I hope honestly, it's so fun. Once you start, you won't stop. And listen, I always tell people romance languages are like a buy one, get one half off sale. So once you learn one of them, you're so motivated to just keep on going and just learning them all because they're all so closely linked, So for example, with yourself, once you learn French, you can very easily learn Spanish, or you can very easily learn Italian, or Portuguese, I think, is a little bit more difficult, but I digress. And then from there, you decide how you want to keep moving along, if you want to keep moving along, right? Val says, one thing I do like about Isaac, speaking of like languages and stuff, I love that he's so fluent in ASL. Me too. I think that is a really, really special thing, because unfortunately, I feel like a lot of, people who are deaf are shut out of public spaces and whatnot. So when a hearing person takes the initiative to learn sign language, that is just such a beautiful action. And so kudos to him for that. And kudos to him for promoting that as well. Nia says, my 15-month-old counting uno, dos, tres has me so happy. Yes, I love that. Keep encouraging it. And, especially at that age, it's so much easier when you're younger. It really is. So like, if you've got young kids, get them started now, ASAP. Kahara says, what was that app or website you mentioned the other day for learning other languages? Thank you for bringing that up. So I've got Pimsleur. Pimsleur is what I use to learn French and Spanish. And then there's another app that I've been testing out. It's called TalkPal. I'll give you more details on that later because I just started with that. I'm trying to learn Italian now, actually. Ashley says, yes, absolutely. I completely agree about ASL being amazing. And Ramster, yes, we did do a watch party back in the Canada days when I was like closer to you guys' time zone, right? When I was on East Coast time, it was so much easier. I did do a watch party for, I want to say Love is Blind with my channel members recently as well. So that was kind of fun too on Netflix Teleparty. So voila. And I completely agree, Ashley. It's such a beautiful thing. Chastity says, my 14-year-old is learning French, German, and Japanese. It's so cool seeing her thrive in multiple languages. I love that. Wow. Kudos to her and kudos to you for instilling that level of curiosity in her. Ali speaks Hebrew, English, and Spanish. Que bien. Good for you. That is amazing. Super duper cool. Val says, girl, how do you keep your braids so clean? Are they clean to you? Oh, okay, thanks. I think it looks amazing. My aunt does those braids, but her hair is always frizzy. You know what it is? Maybe I have a rose water spray. You know what I'm telling you guys? Rose water changed my like the whole game for me. So I mixed rose water, distilled water, and glycerin, sprayed on my face, sprayed in my hair like twice a day, and especially on your face as a toner. Killer. Like I don't wear foundation anymore, you guys. It's just rose water, right? I need something for like hyperpigmentation, but other than that, like everything is even. Everything like feels like cool and glowy and whatnot. So maybe it's that. Hey Ashley, so nice to see you. And our other Ashley says, I picked up on Spanish as a kid. I was the minority back home, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Oh, good for you. Absolutely beautiful. And it's something that you get to keep with you for life. The way you get to enjoy like so many, like, so much content, and art in these different languages, it's just, it's bar none. It really is. Good morning, Breeze. So nice to see you. Hope you're having a happy Independence Day so far. Now, you guys, why don't we get into our Love Island recap, shall we? A lot went down in last night's episode of Love Island, and the Islanders were able to see for real what America thought about them, because the episode ended with Americans showing their votes. Or I have a question for you guys. Is it just Americans who vote? Or is it like a global thing, right? Because some of the contestants on Love Island are international. So I'm just curious about that, but I digress. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But the episode starts out with all of the girls and all of the guys talking about that mailing ceremony that happened in the prior episode. And again, I thought that challenge was really mean. It gave an opportunity for people to like bully each other. And we saw that in the way that Amaya was treated. And so when the girls were kind of debriefing about it, it did make me laugh, but also made me a little sad to see how like far off to the side Huda was and pouting after the way that she was a little bit ambushed there. And by the way, Clark, to me, I think she looks like your typical, like, like what they call 90s fine. Like, how people were so beautiful in the 90s. Like, it's just a certain type of beauty that, like, for example, when you watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and you see Nia Long on there, like that type of fine, that is Clark to me. Like, she's so captivating to me. It's insane. But that is besides the point. Y'all know I get distracted by beauty easily. Meanwhile, we had a little bit of a heart-to-heart between Alondria and Huda, and Alondria dragged Huda in front of everybody. She exposed Huda for kissing Clark's, not Clark, what is her name? She exposed Huda for kissing Shelly's like other match and connection and whatnot, and really backdoored her. But in her conversation with Huda, she kept going, Huda, I love you so much. I was like, girl, that's a little bit fake. It's giving fake. Like, you can't just open a conversation like this with somebody after you just like blindsided them and threw them under the bus, right? Like, at the end, they do manage to make amends and Huda does forgive her. However, if I were Huda, I would still keep one eye open when it comes to her, and I would never trust Alondria again. And so we already saw how bad the confrontation was between Zach and Amaya during the Mail It In challenge. And he really jumped into a dogpiling situation against Amaya, and it was very disturbing. And, a lot of articles have been written about it on publications such as Vulture and whatnot. Like, a lot of people were disgusted by the way that the men, with the exception of Brian, treated Amaya, right? And so they talk about that whole falling out and everything. And it just makes things even worse, right? Because at this point, now he's accusing Amaya of crossing his boundaries. He's like, like that time you kissed me, really crossed my boundaries, blah, blah. Whereas, and I wish that they flashed back to it so that people like myself who were just tuning in last minute, and you guys could let me know, by the way, like what that kiss was like. But Amaya felt like he was being ridiculous. She felt like it was very consensual, very like he never, expressed any kind of discomfort, and that it's not okay for him to just be suddenly saying this like that about her. And so she tells him that he is a very extremely odd individual and to never talk about her again, right? And I was like, damn, I guess there's no love lost there, and they can go ahead and try to, pursue other connections at this point. And speaking about pursuing other connections, our poor girl Grayson officially got dumped in this week's episode, to the surprise of nobody. Pepe finally found the courage and the strength to tell her that he just does not see it for the two of them. He doesn't feel a spark with her, and that they kind of have to move on at this point in their relationship. So womp, womp, womp. Now, let me go ahead and see what some of y'all had to say. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to get into Shelly and Huda having their heart to heart. Then we're going to get into you guys' comments, okay? And by the way, if you're part of my playback posse, we'll be getting into your comments down in the regular comment section afterwards, okay? So when Huda has her heart to heart with Shelly, she apologizes for kissing Chris behind her back and everything. And so I thought that was good of her to just start things off right off the bat there. But to be honest, I don't think that Huda's sorry, because she would have told her friend about it if she were sorry, right? Like, she would have kept this a secret if Alondra did not expose her. Just saying. Anyway, let me get back into your comments. And by the way, you guys, if you're enjoying today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, okay? And Paprika, oh, you're fluent in ASL. Yes, I love that. We love a multilingual co-reporter. That's so cool. And shout out to you, Jaleesa, learning Italian as well. Isn't it so exciting? Wow, she already speaks ASL. She's already fluent in ASL as well. Valerie says, anyone looking to learn foreign languages, look up Babbel. It has helped me so much. There are so many good applications out there. Babbel is really good as well. I haven't gotten the opportunity to use it, but I've heard great things about it. I've heard great things about Duolingo. I'll be honest though, I tried Duolingo, but for me, it just didn't work. I think it was too visual. I'm an auditory learner, so that's why I excelled when it came to Pimsleur instead, right? Cambrulés from St. Lucia, yeah. And she's also a rose water warrior. I am telling you guys, rose water will change your skincare game. You will not even need to wear foundation anymore, you guys. It is incredible. Happy 4th of July to you, Gail. I hope you and Jenna have a great, and the rest of your family, of course, have a great time celebrating. Malen says, I love Amaya. She's very down to earth. I hope so. I very hope so. I hope she doesn't have any anti-Black things out there, because, you know, they Dominican with I know Black. Listen, you got to cross your fingers. And that's the sad thing. I do have to be honest with you guys. Sometimes when you watch these shows, and I used to love Big Brother, like that was one of the first reality shows that I used to be a fiend for. But there were just so many like instances of people being exposed for being racist. And a lot of times when people are racist, they're anti-Black, you know? So it's like, I just hate that you have to hold your breath whenever a new cast comes out or a new show comes out, hoping that like this type of information doesn't come out about them, right? Like, it's really, really sad, and it's really scary, and it's disappointing, the state of the world that we're in. And thank you so much, Gail. That is so nice of you. Jaleesa also thinks Clark is gorgeous. And can I also say, like, there's something about her that just gives me like, she looks like she could have been like in those like early 2000s R&B music videos, like one of the most stunning vixens or something. And she just feels like too mature for this group of people. Like, I don't know what it is. The guys, to me, they look like teenagers, but the women, like, they look grown, like, you know, like they're grown, you know, like, it's just so fascinating to me. Anyway, Ali says she totally forgot about her. Deb says their first kiss was awkward, but she was trying not to get eliminated. A lot of people didn't like her asking for it. So this is about Amaya and Zach. A lot of people didn't like her asking for a kiss, felt like she was begging. She did it again in the next episode. Ooh, Lord. Okay. Well, here's my thing. If she asked for it and he said, okay, then I could see why she's pissed off that he's trying to portray it as something else. However, if she asked for it, he said no, she asked again until he said okay, like kind of feeling almost coerced, then I could see where he's coming from, right? So I don't know. I would have to go back and see that episode to get a little bit better of like a take on what exactly went on, because I can't side, you know, one way or the other without like having seen it. But thank you so much for the context, Deb. Natalie says Sabrina Carpenter is naked on the late. Oh God. Listen, I love Sabrina Carpenter's music, but she gives like extreme, like thirsty vibes. Listen, that's me tapping away on my phone so I can go see what this is about. After her album cover that really disappointed me. I feel like a disappointed big sister. I'm like, Sabrina, please come sit by me. Let me put you up on game, right? Just says, but like, who gives an F if she kissed Chris? Shelly dumped him. Well, that's a good point too, right? So I think a lot of people are not fans of Shelly anymore. And we saw that in the way that America voted. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like some sort of elimination or more demotion for Shelly moving forward. And I actually think that Alondra is going to see the same thing as well. A lot of people really liked Alondra. People wanted her with Nick and everything, but I think people are seeing a side of her that they're not really liking anymore. Ronnie says, I started Love Island last night. because I finally had a break from everything. I will try to catch up. Love that for you. You're in the same boat as me. And thank God it's the weekend, right? Because that's going to give us a lot more time to get fully caught up on what is going on. Gail says, I can't stand people being racist at all because the color of your skin doesn't matter to me. Exactly. It's so pointless. It really is. Like, find a hobby, take up knitting or something. Like, really, racism? That's so like 1950s. Now Lee says, replay crew, usually. Sorry, I'm off topic. I just joined. Happy 4th, everyone. And I love seeing you pop in, Natalie. No worries at all. Nice to see you. Ramster says, you're so right about Carpenter Grace. Something's off about her, either trying too hard or pick me vibes. Exactly. Like, it's just desperation. And like, I know she's young and everything, and like, you are a different person when you're younger. Like, maybe that's it, but like, it's a lot. It's very like full on. I can't find the Rolling Stone cover, really, you guys. I don't know what's going on. I see her in this yellow dress that's really beautiful. But he says this whole show lost its plot. Only one couple is coupled up, and it's 27 episodes. Yeah, they're really struggling with the connections so far, and I'm hoping that we get some new bombshells in the villa to kind of liven things up, because they did do this challenge that eliminated about 4 people. There were a bottom 5. And then the Islanders got to save 1 person, so only 4 people left. And basically, what happened was they had to classify themselves from most to least. And then they were later given the results of what America voted, right? So there were a couple of different categories, and you can really see who the favorites are, right? So for example, Pepe is very beloved amongst the audience. He was voted most genuine, and then Taylor was voted as least genuine. Pepe was voted best boyfriend material. Hang on, you guys. I have to turn on my fan. Oh my God, it is so hot. Hang on, you guys. Sorry about that. I am melting. I don't know if I talked to you guys about this, but like, this heat wave has been taking people out. People are dying, y'all. Did you guys see this story? There's this 10-year-old American girl. She was on vacation with her family. They were in Versailles, Le Château de Versailles, the palace. And she was complaining about how hot it was. And then before you know it, she drops and she dies. And there's like a cleaning lady as well. And she was just cleaning clients' houses. And like I told you guys, like, it's not really common to have AC. It's a very rare thing in Parisian apartments. And she just died too. Like quite a few, and there's quite a few stories like this. The weather has gotten so hot. The lack of AC and whatnot, like, you really have to be careful. Drink as much water as possible and whatnot. So sorry about that. I was like, oh, okay, let's get that fan on. So anyway, where was I? So yeah, it looks like America really loves Pepe. They kept on voting him for some of the greatest things. And Taylor is who they do not like. They don't like the way that he did Alondra dirty. And so it seems like America really did like Alondra, not as much as they like Amaya. However, they liked her. But I think that changes after last night's episode and the last 2 episodes, I should say, overall, right? And TJ, by the way, when I was telling you guys, like, I don't find any of the guys on the show attractive. I think TJ is the only one that I think is like halfway attractive, but there's something so sad about him. Do you guys like see like a sadness in his eyes? Like, he doesn't seem like somebody who's happy. And that makes me like, like kind of like, damn, like, I wonder what's going on beneath the surface. Like, just something about him just seems like very angsty, but I digress. So anyway, Amaya was voted most trustworthy girl. Clark was voted least trustworthy girl. Amaya was also voted most genuine, and Iris won 2nd place. So it seems like Iris and Amaya are the 2 favorites so far, right? And then Clark got least genuine. So people really do not like Clark and Taylor being paired together at all. So I wonder if that's going to break up their relationship or anything like that moving forward. And it also doesn't seem like America likes Shelly either. And I don't think that Jaleesa likes Shelly. So shout out to you, Jaleesa. Listen, it looks like you're on the winning team, okay? As far as Shelly's concerned. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that you like Alondra that much either, right? Chastity said, I've not watched Love Island, but kind of want to now. You should. It's so good. It really is. And by the way, listen, let me give you some websites if you want to watch it for free. There is Flixer, FLIXER.SU, okay, that you can use to watch it. And it's really good quality. You're not going to get these like pop-ups and this like sketchy stuff. And then there's another website called Stream, STREAMM, the number 4, the letter U.com. those, or sorry, not .com, .co. Those are the two sites that you can use to go ahead and stream Love Island for free, okay? Malen says, I hope Amaya wins Love Island alone. Just watch the Islanders will start to kiss Amaya's ass because America loves her now. And you know what? That would be so beautiful and so empowering to see, right? I really hope that too. She doesn't have a real romantic connection, so I would hate to see somebody like grift, try to like hitch their, their tail or whatever to her wagon to make their way to the top and just to use her, right? Give me one quick second. Je suis en rendezvous. Voila. So yeah, I really would like to see that as well, Malen. She's such a ray of sunshine. So I want the best for her. She just says, see, I like Alondra, but she's been single for weeks. I don't know why she's still on the show. Listen, it's time to bring in some new bombshells so that, people can pair off. It's annoying and boring watching them all just be single on this island. Like, we're already, we need some action. Bree says, Alondra is so embarrassing. Taylor never had any affection towards her, even told the guys he wasn't attracted, and he completely went all in with Clark. These people are not her friends. That's what I'm thinking too. From what I've seen, like I even saw this moment where it was like a selection day for the guys to like pick who they're going to pair off with. She did like this thing where she took these Polaroid pictures of her. She like kissed it and everything and left it in his drawer. He's like, this is so nice, but I'm still not attracted. Like, I'm sorry, like Alondra, you were a bombshell. You were 100 out of 10. Like, get up and match with somebody else. Why didn't she like Nick, by the way? Like, was she just not attracted to him? Like, because it looked like they were going to become a couple. Then all of a sudden it fizzles out like that. Julissa says there's only one couple because Ace and his minions would eliminate anyone they deemed as a threat. I've been hearing a lot about Ace and Ace kind of like being controlling of like the dynamics of the house and whatnot. So listen, do you guys vote or do you guys kind of like just watch it? Because if you vote, I do think it would behoove you to vote for Ace to be eliminated because it seems like he's the one preventing people from being able to form connections, right? And if you want the show to keep moving along forward and in a more productive direction, it might be time to get rid of him. Just saying. Len says, I love Ace finding out he's not beloved like his Instagram dance videos. He looked very shocked by that, right? Like, I don't know. He has a very cocky energy that I don't personally appreciate, right? And I know Tadisha was so sad. It's so sad, honestly. And it happened so quickly, right? Because at the chateau, obviously there's security, there's, medics and stuff like that in case anything were to happen. And so for her to just, die so quickly, especially at her young age, very, very sad. Bree says, that's what I don't understand, why Alondra is popular. Give me 1 second. Okay,
the Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Rothia. Rothia is a skincare brand born from love and
so it kind of feels more like the criticism that Zach is lobbying towards Amaya could be the sort of criticism that Alex pushes towards Alondra, right? Because from what I'm understanding, based off of what he said on the show and how you guys feel as, viewers and whatnot, it kind of feels like, there's this kind of, you have to go along with this. And if you don't, I am going to, paint you in a bad light sort of a situation, which I don't think is fair. It feels like a very coercive sort of thing. And so maybe that is a conversation that needs to be had. I do remember before I started watching that there was this sort of an issue with Huda, right? A lot of people said that Huda was trying to force somebody. I think it was Nick. I'm not sure who, but there was this conversation about that and how like that really was unfair. So maybe it's time to open up that conversation as far as Alondra is concerned as well, right? And again, I'm way behind. I need to catch up. I think that's what I'm going to be spending a lot of my weekend doing. So just take what I'm saying there with a grain of salt, okay? And that's the thing, Deb, right? Like, it seems like he wants to, but he can't. I don't know what it is, but he just seems so sad. Julissa says, I'm sorry, the Taylor hate is too much. He has a budding connection with Clark. Well, that's the thing. Like, why are they saying that he's fake or he's not. Like, it feels like he has been keeping it real with Clark this whole time. He's been keeping it real with Alondria. I think people just really love Alondria and just, want to avenge her, basically, right? And to the detriment of Ace and Clark. So listen, I guess it's just you just have to have luck, right, with this sort of a thing, right? And I love that, Ashley. Alyssa says she's popular because she's messy. It's true. Listen, that's what these shows need. They need mess, you guys. They really do. I think I had a couple things also noted, you guys, here. So there was this one thing that was really odd to me. So you know how Amaya and Zach were dragging each other and she was calling him an extremely odd individual and everything and never to talk to her again? There's this one challenge where they go, oh, like, which couple would America like to go on vacation with? They put themselves in first and they're being all like affectionate. She's like all over his hand and touching him and stuff. And I'm like, girl, you just cursed him out like 2 minutes ago. Like, what's happening here, right? And so they actually did wind up winning that. But I think America just wanted Amaya to win any and everything. So I thought that was funny. But I'm like, please don't tell me you guys are going to rekindle things. And Ariana really even asked, she's like, okay, well, would you guys even want to go on vacation together? And they're like, oh, like, we have an up and down relationship. I'm like, please do not tell me you're about to take me back on this roller coaster ride again in the next episode. I don't want to be on this roller coaster ride again. Take me off. Jaleesa says people are saying Taylor used Alondria, which is fair, but I'd say the same for Alondria. Taylor has been very real, if you ask me. It's sad they keep pushing Alondria on him. I really hope they cut the storyline loose. It's run its course. We get it, right? Like, there's not a connection there. He wants to be with Clark. Let him be with Clark. Like, get over it. Get over it. You can't force him to like someone he doesn't like. And yes, Alondria is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. But guess what? So is Clark. I keep saying this, you guys. Both of them are too good for him, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but every time I see him, I see like a 15-year-old. Like, to me, he looks like a 15-year-old. But I digress. Good morning, Ruby. How are you doing? From all the way over there in sunny Spain. Valerie says, I've wanted Ace gone and I vote him out every time. I love that. Listen, I hope that it happens, for everybody, because like you guys are saying, apparently he's preventing connections from being made and storylines from being able to move along. So it's time for him to go. Got to get rid of him. Deb says they call Taylor fake because he never told Alondria that he wasn't attracted to her. He told the boys and her thinking they were just a slow burn. Well, you know what? Like, sometimes I think we baby women. Alondria's a grown woman. You as a woman, you should be able to say, you know what? This man is not giving me love, attention, affection, and he's giving it to another woman. Like, let's put 2 + 2 = 4, right? Like, move on. And there's so many other guys there. You had a guy who was like falling over himself to connect you. Like, you're not the victim here, right? Like, it's the heart wants what it wants. And unfortunately, his heart doesn't want you. And that's okay. Move on. You're not a victim, right? By the way, so America voted for their bottom 5, right? So there were people like Grayson, Clark. Actually, no, Clark was not voted. Who were the people, right? Hang on. There's that mega guy, Austin. There was Taylor, Grayson, TJ, and Andreina. And I feel really badly for Andreina. I think that her problem is that, listen, she speaks English, right? But I don't think she speaks at a level where she's comfortable making like these deep, intimate connections with people. And like, it's showing in these surface level conversations and whatnot. And, I also think that there's like just some nuance and stuff that's missing and some like cultural similarities and whatnot. So I think that that's why she was having a hard time connecting with people. And it makes me sad for her. She seemed like a really lovely girl. I would have loved to see more of her, right? So I'm excited to see more of her on the rewatch. TJ, he's very like vacant. Same thing with Grayson. Again, TJ has a very strong air of sadness to me, almost a concerning air of sadness to me, if I could be honest with you, just looking in his eyes. And Austin, I didn't like the way he acted during that Mail It In challenge. The mean comments he was leaving to everybody. Like, I'm sorry, it was giving little bitch to me. So I'm happy that he was gone. And then Alondria was the only Islander to like stand behind him. I'm like, girl, like, there you go. Always loyal to the wrong man. And I think that loses her some grace with the audience as well, in addition to some of the stuff that she's already done these last few episodes. So I would not be surprised to see her kind of slide down in the rankings and eventually Bree and eventually get voted up. Bree says Alondria is slow, y'all. Gwen says playing chauffeur again this morning, so I'll be listening or trying to in my car. Well, happy driving, Gwen, and happy 4th of July to you and your family, okay? Deb says she agrees. Julissa says, I think Taylor didn't want to hurt her feelings. Exactly. Right? If he told her straight up, I'm not attracted to you, blah, 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 that would have been a problem too. Sometimes you just gotta like go by the actions, right? And for us, we have to see, like anybody, men, women, look at that way a person is treating you. Never just pay attention to what they're saying or not saying, trying to read between the lines. Look at the way they're treating you. Are they treating you like they like you, let alone love you? No, move on. Problem freaking solved. People like to go, oh, but like, he's an avoidant, or he's got his Saturn in his 21st house and he's like a Scorpio. He just doesn't like you. That's what it is. Bree says, I think they are being too open. She could have had a great connection, but shut down because she wanted to explore Pepe. Yeah, good luck. I wish she tried somebody else. I actually could see Grayson with TJ, actually. I thought that would have been an interesting one. I don't know if they got to try it or not, but voila. Really? Why are you glad? Listen, TJ seems like he's just there, like carpet or something, like he seems so inoffensive. But listen, I'm excited to know why it is that you did not particularly take to him. And by the way, Ramser had left a comment earlier that I wanted to get back to. Ramser says, I'm trying to learn a bit of Italian now, but due to my brain error, it just doesn't stick anymore. My English is on point, German and French un petit peu, but teach kids when they're young. You know what? Good luck to you on your journey. Listen, it's never too late. And, whether it takes a year, 2 years, 10 years, just so long as you keep on going and you're still passionate about your learning journey, that is all that matters. And, it's amazing already. Your level of English is insane, especially for you to be so funny in another language and whatnot. So congratulations to you already, Ramster, and good luck with your journey. Keep us posted on how it all goes. Ruby says, and your French too, because you were speaking to me in French earlier at the top of this episode. Ruby says, feeling a bit overwhelmed with the bill that just passed in the States. I'm actually from California and had asked if you knew a page where I can see TV channels from Spain that I can have access. Oh, I'm sorry about that too. I heard the news. Honestly, this year has felt so long already and it's only a couple months in. But you know what? Honestly, we just got to hang in there, try our best to just focus on the positives and the things that bring us joy now more than ever. Did you try that page? So there is streamforyou.com. So stream, STREAMM, 4, letter U.com.co. That's where I watched today's episode of Love Island. And listen, I think it works in Spain as well because I'm watching from France. And, it's typically the same thing, the European Union country, so it should work for you. And the other one was Flixer, FLIXER.SU, for watching the show and pretty much any show. Even Traders is on it, you guys. And I saw Mormon Wives was on this stuff too. So I'm really looking forward to it. Bree says, why did you hate TJ? He was cute and his little camping was so cute. I want to know. Oh, well, here it is. Jaleesa's got the answer. TJ's a Trump, Diddy, and Andrew Tate stamp. TJ? Hang on. Let me go look up TJ. Is that the guy I keep telling you guys, he was the only one that I thought halfway attractive? Don't tell me I backed the wrong horse. But that he looks really sad or something. I'm looking him up. No, my Shayla. Yep, that's my. So he's an incel? Okay, no wonder he looks so sad and empty. I'm telling you guys, TJ's not a happy person. Wow. Well, no wonder. If you're supporting violence against women and all this stuff, then you know what? Good. I'm glad you got voted off. Get out. Really? It was making you? Really? That's so weird. I watch it openly like it's any other website. That is so crazy. Why don't you try the other one, the Stream for You, okay? Let me put it here. I'll put the link here, okay? You guys hang on. And then afterwards, I gotta head out. I'm gonna go to the gym. I was talking to my friend. I was like, girl, I've just been feeling so not lifeless, but just so drained all week and burnt out for no reason. I'm not even up. And she's like, girl, you're having post-vacation blues. I'm like, really? You think so? Is that really a thing? I don't know. Okay, so this is the other link. Okay, you guys, I'm going to put it here in the comment section. So T. Ruth and Ruby and anybody else, this is where I went to watch this week's episode of Love Island. All right. And yeah, I need more tea. And by the way, Jaleesa, I saw what you were talking about with Candy. So in yesterday's episode of the Morning Report, we talked about how Tiny was supporting Diddy, right? She said, it's not illegal to be freaky or some stuff like that. And then Jaleesa said that Candy Burris from the Real Housewives of Atlanta was supporting Diddy as well. And I was like, oh, please don't let it be true, especially not after Dungeon Gate and how ham she went, talking about she would never support that type of stuff. Lo and behold, yep, it's true. She supports Diddy. She liked that post supporting Diddy and cheering for his release. I am fully, completely, and utterly disgusted. You're a woman. You're a human. You're a mother. You're a daughter. You're a sister. You're a role model to people. And you're supporting this? All right, girl. We see each other. And listen, thank God I don't even like her voice to be streaming her music, because otherwise I'd have to stop. Anyway, you guys, listen. Shout out once again to my American co-reporters. I really wish you guys a happy 4th of July. Stay safe celebrating. You know, don't do anything crazy now. Listen, if you have some drinks, do not get behind the wheel, right? Have a great time celebrating. Stay hydrated, okay? And, to those of you who are not celebrating and instead protesting, stay safe doing that as well. It seems as though your right to protest is, kind of under attack right now. So stay safe no matter what it is that you're doing out there. And to everybody, I am wishing you a fantastic weekend in general. And I'm really looking forward to catching you again on Monday for another episode of The Morning Report. Like I told y'all, I am going to be digging in on all the episodes of Love Island USA that I missed over the weekend so I could be fully caught up, okay? Take care, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't hesitate to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.